So, welcome to our sports podcast. We're going to be talking about my favorite sport today. It is hockey.
Yeah, that's the one.
Which is the one that is on ice.
Yes, it's the one on ice where you have knives strapped to your feet and a big stick.
Not the one where you encourage the metal circular drop to move towards a goal.
No, that's curling, which is also ridiculously cool.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Did I ever tell you that Becca's dad did curling?
No.
Yeah. He joined up in college, if I'm not mistaken. He wanted to play because he could do it while holding a beer in one hand.
Oh. Am I allowed to talk during this?
Yes, Mom.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yes, Mom,
I didn't know you were going to start out with hockey.
What?
Okay.
How do you? I've only kind of sort of watched curling, but don't you need both hands to? I don't know.
Well, Becca's dad's very talented.
There's that.
Okay.
It's true. Chuck Hayes is a very talented man. But if you're the person who's initiating the slide of the teardrop thing, you only need the one hand. So if you're brooming, if you're the one sweeping in front of it to create friction, I think I don't entirely understand curling. Then you need both your hands. But
well, but he picked the right position.
Well, yeah, because he knows his shit.
He's smart. Okay,
smart man.
I've learned something about.
He's also a very talented hugger.
Yeah. Oh,
he's a good hugger.
Yes.
That's true.
Wow.
Chuck Hayes is a good hugger.
This is the Chuck Hayes podcast.
I love
Get all of your
who
Chuck
hug.
Hayes knowledge. Joe, if you had to explain to somebody who doesn't sports what a hockey is, what would you tell them?
Have you watched soccer?
No.
Okay, it's like that, but on ice with knives strapped to your feet.
I don't know why you're so offended. Of course I don't watch soccer.
So hockey, the best way I can think to describe hockey is...
I'm an alien.
Okay, so...
I'm Orm. Hi.
Hi, Orm. Thank you.
What is this thing that you've put in front of me?
Hockey is a game where you have two opposing teams who have groups of five that skate against each other to try and control a puck. It was a small circular rubber disc, and they try to put that disc into their opponent's goal in order to score a point. And
With a long wooden stick.
With a long wooden stick, yes. And each goal is protected by a goaltender who is wearing big bulky pads and has an even bigger stick to make it harder to get the puck into the net. And whoever has the most points at the end wins. Does that work?
And they like to fight a lot.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of fighting, and a bunch of the players are missing several teeth.
And what I never understood is the referees never break up the fights.
I mean, they throw them in the penalty box afterward, but
after they fight for a while. Though.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay.
Why is there so much fighting in hockey?
Because it's quite violent.
The nature of hockey.
Yeah, I don't know, something about 1920s Canadians being ornery. I'm not sure.
Okay, I was about to say, I played, I was forced to play baseball as a child, and I don't remember any fights, but I also was not a 1920s Canadian.
That's true. Though I have seen some actual, bench clearing brawls in baseball.
Nice.
Yeah, I have too.
It's bonkers.
Yeah.
All right, I've exceeded my ability to talk about sports.
What if I mentioned that the pirate
season.
parrot used to be a drug dealer?
Did he?
What?
A pirate parrot used to deal cocaine out of his beak.
I think I knew him.
I think I did hear that.
I learned this from Dad, actually. Yeah, he would back in the 70s. He would put his beak over players' heads, and while they were doing that, they did a quick drug deal.
Oh, for real?
Fantastic.
They would do a snort a line.
I'm
or
not
something.
sure. I'm not sure if he had a line ready for them,
inside his beak.
But it was either a handoff of a baggie, or he had a little table inside the beak with a line ready to go.
Either way, he would put his entire beak mouth over
the person's
their head.
Yeah.
like a baby bird.
It's the perfect crime.
Yeah, like getting it all ready. Then
Oh, wow.
yeah.
And that is the last I'll be talking about sports today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to DeRazzled, Season 3.
Woo!
The podcast that takes
Yay.
award-winning worst films and fixes them. I'm host Jack Colbertson, and here to suffer alongside me as always is also host Joe Nealis.
Mariska Hargitay.
As the good ship DeRazzled sets out on its third tour, I'd like to say thank you for listening and warn everyone who's listening. The formula of this podcast has changed over time and will continue to change under the laws of entropy. What's our brand? I would say a barrel-aged who cares over a bed of cinema with a soupçon of irreverence.
It's oddly peaty.
Yeah.
Yum, yum.
This season, we're presenting both new and classic flavors. We'll examine Razzie-nominated films and fix them.
Like today.
We'll pathologize the film world. That's the sort of masochism that is the foundation of this podcast.
Yes.
Those are our DeRazzled classics, our gold stars that are not nominated for the Razzies, but they hurt just the same and sometimes worse.
And sometimes worse.
And then our development hell episodes as well.
Yes.
However, existentialism and art are the pillars that stand on that foundation. That's our DeRazzled on location, and something we bench tested last season towards the end. The
stories of us.
The stories of us.
Yes.
Wherein we'll invite a friend on to discuss what impact cinema has had on them, how art binds us together as the human animal.
Basically, bringing in an old podcast idea into our current podcast idea.
And then finally, we'll be checking in throughout the season to see how our film festival's coming along. That's the DeRazzled presents the unofficial Willem Dafoe Bad Art Film Festival.
Short Film Festival. Sorry, the unofficial Willem Dafoe Bad Art Short Film Festival.
Full-length, experimental, 6-hour-long film festival.
The unofficial Willem Dafoe presents Werner Herzog's Nightmare.
This doesn't have anything to do with your short film, or yes?
Different short film.
Okay.
No. As our special guest, my mom, has just mentioned, we've made other short films. A couple of which are being shown in a film festival in Pittsburgh, literally a few days after this airs. So,
Oh yeah. We duped another one into showing
Knifebreaker.
showing Knifebreaker, our most successful film to date.
The best 6 to 7 minutes we've put to film, apparently.
And then
our Kickstarter darling, Out Goes She.
Yeah,
which has been nominated for several awards, including Best Cinematography. Thank you, our good friend Scott McGrath.
Can I say hello?
Just let me finish what I'm saying real quick.
Okay.
And then yes.
I thought you were done.
Best performance, thanks to our lead actress, Emily Gray, and best direction from our one and only Jack Culbertson.
Hi.
Yay.
Thank you, Joe. So we are going to start this season with a more traditional episode, and we're going to be covering 2008's The Love Guru, and we'll be doing so with special guest Joe's mom.
Hello. Glad to be here.
We
very
had
cool.
talked about doing this.
A while ago.
Yeah.
Having me or the love guru?
Yes.
Both.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how do we make The Love Guru somewhat sufferable to get through?
And my immediate idea was, well, my mom loves Mike Myers,
right?
So that would be fun.
I do.
Here we go. Do you have a favorite Mike Myers?
Oh my. Wayne's World.
Okay,
it's an excellent
classic.
So I married an ex-murderer.
Good. We'll talk about that one in a minute.
There's one I can't remember.
I'm shocked.
I know.
How on earth? I'm honestly surprised it wasn't the second thing out of your mouth after Wayne's World.
Well, Wayne's World 2, but isn't there another
Mom.
one I'm forgetting? What?
Cat in the Hat.
Obviously, Cat in the Hat.
I didn't see the Cat in the Hat.
Mom, Austin Powers.
Austin Powers. That's it. Oh, forgive me. That's awful.
I know. I'm almost offended.
If I were you, I'd make me leave.
And that's a wrap for Joe's mom.
Bye. Oh my God, I love Austin Powers. Joe, don't get mad at me, but one time say something like Dr.
Yes,
Evil.
I was going to bring this up. But
Okay.
The funny thing about this voice is allegedly, it is actually Michael Myers' impersonation of Lorne Michaels.
Oh, really?
Supposedly, I have no idea if that's true.
I can yeah, sure. It's canon.
Mom would make me do that
Yeah.
every day. As soon as she realized I could do that, she would make me do it constantly.
Yeah, Jill got mad at me after a while. So you're so good at it, though. I love that.
So for those of you who have not watched The Love Guru, I will be summarizing it, kind of, sort of. We have our returning gag, Pavlovian horses.
I am so thankful that I've figured out that there's just an album of horse sound effects on Spotify.
Why?
It just makes my order of
on
operations so much easier. Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, for those of you
Horse
who
noises.
are not familiar with this gag, let me read through the
Okay.
the description. Instead of providing a highly descriptive summary full of quips, we'll be playing the game Pavlovian Horses, wherein I'll have 5 minutes to summarize the movie and not a second more. When the timer hits 5 minutes, Joe will blast me with horse sounds. Now I am become Horse, the destroyer of plot summary. Julius Bobby Oppenheimer. His middle name's Bobby. Good now.
Middle name is Bobby. Yeah. That's accurate. Yeah, not many people realize that's actually what's on his birth certificate.
Fascinating.
The Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
Oh, he's Bobby.
Yeah, Julius Bobby Oppenheimer.
Oh.
Yep.
Before we do, we are a history podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
We are registered as
a film history
yeah.
a film history podcast.
Uh,
Who let us do that?
Yins are scaring me.
Fucking idiots.
but before we do that, Joe's going to remind you to remember, never remember.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you should always remember to rate and review the podcast everywhere you possibly can, because it helps other people find us and put our sounds in their ear holes. You can rate us on Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Podchaser, wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you, please, and thank you once more.
Oh, you're good, Joe.
I got some practice.
All right.
Okay.
Hit me.
You ready?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'd like to start my 5 uninterrupted minutes by telling Joe that he can pound sand. Because of you, I got my monthly existential crisis early.
Oh, no. What did I do?
As you know, we did a guest spot on the Cult Worthy podcast in which we were to discuss a movie that we initially didn't like, but over time have grown on us.
Oh, right. No, this is my fault. Sorry.
Growers Not Showers episode. Knowing our first episode this season was the Love Guru, Joe attempted some brand synergy, picking the 1993 Mike Myers comedy, So I Married an Axe Murderer. However, upon rewatching it, Joe did not like the movie anymore.
Honestly, I didn't.
Making it neither a grower nor a shower.
Sorry.
I hated So I Married an Axe Murderer and then watched Love Guru, which was also pretty bad, causing me to ponder, had anything ever been funny about Mike Myers?
Yes.
I thought I enjoyed Austin Powers. I remember being amused by Wayne's World. But what if nostalgia had charmed my memories? Was Mike Myers merely a stepping stone in the evolution of humor? It's said that humor, out of all the genres, is the one that ages the quickest. But I dare you to exhume Charlie Chaplin or Buster Keaton and tell that to their talented bones. Do I have to answer this quandary? I don't know. It is that which keeps my mind roiling in the night. And I say to you, Joe Nealis, kindly go pound sand. The Love Guru opens on Guru Pitka, played by Mike Myers.
I love those movies.
Number 2 guru.
They're funny.
Number 2 guru in the world after Deepak Chopra.
Of course.
He tells us in flashback that encompasses the entire movie, how he got to where he is today. Orphaned, Pitka tells Guru Tagamaputa that he wants to become a guru to get some babes. Tagamaputa puts chastity belt on a child, saying it will stay there until he learns to love himself, and that's more important than being loved by others.
Yes,
Good lessons.
it is a good lesson.
Years later, he has become something of a guru to the stars. Because of this, he is brought in to help Darren Roanoke, played by Romany?
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 Romany? I'm not sure of the pronunciation.
Romany Malco, who is a hockey player for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Maple Leafs.
Yeah, so I was just going to say that it's Leafs, not leaves.
Not leaves, it's Leafs. They make a point of pointing this out in the movie, too.
This is a team
Sorry,
that Joe
Jack.
assures me is real, even though it seems a bit on the nose.
It really does.
Darren has lost his hockey groove after his wife, Prudence. This is incorrect, actually. I wrote this after watching it the first time. She doesn't leave him. He leaves her.
He preemptively leaves
Yeah.
her out of fear, yeah.
And she goes to...
Fear that he wouldn't win the Stanley Cup.
Right. She goes to Los Angeles Kings goaltender Jacques Lecoq Grande.
Played by Justin Timberlake.
Los Angeles Kings, is that a...
That's also a real team, yes.
Okay, sure. Anyway, he's played by Justin Timberlake of Trolls World Tour fame. The joke here is that Lecoq has a very large penis.
Oh.
Remember on Saturday Night Live when him and Jimmy Fallon sing?
We gotta let him get
sorry.
through this.
This, like all of the fart, poop, and crotch hits, and the little people jokes are extremely funny and have aged like a fine mop bucket of piss. Jane, I'm not going to make it.
Yeah, 57 seconds.
Oh, God. Fuck, I lost my place.
Oh, no.
Jane, the owner of the Toronto Maple Leafs, brings Guru Pitka in to acronym Darren Better. Jane is played by Jessica Alba, who we're supposed to believe falls in love with Pitka, presumably for all the testicle jokes. Was this ever funny?
So
I
many
don't know
testicle
if it was.
jokes.
The jokes aren't that
30
different
seconds.
from... The jokes aren't that different from Austin Powers. Have we just moved on as a society from that type of humor? Had we, as a nation, lost our innocence, our taste for fart jokes? Did Michael Myers ruin chastity belts? I ask you this. Also, John Oliver and Stephen Colbert are in this. Colbert is somewhat of an unhinged sports announcer. Oliver is Pitka's manager, Dick Pants. Darren is made to confront his mom as part of his therapy. Fuck me. No, I deserve this. It's fine.
This first episode of the season.
I hate it. I hate them.
I don't believe you use horse cells.
It's.
Jack does not like horses.
I don't like horses, and I didn't even come close.
Their heads are so big.
They do very
Well,
large.
you spent 2 full minutes telling me to pound sand. So
I wanted to get the important part in first.
that's fair.
They do have large heads, and most of that is teeth.
It's a lot of teeth.
Yeah.
It's a lot of teeth.
Yeah.
And they walk on fingers, and it's just all uncomfortable.
They walk on fingers.
Horse legs are weirdly structurally like fingers. It's unsettling.
I never noticed.
Well, now all those funny jokes are lost of the sands of pounding.
Horse
Horse toes. Oh, God. Ugh. So yeah, I do want to, before we go to our first break, I do want to mention that before we started recording, you were talking about how much you enjoyed how funny the movie was, Love Guru.
Yeah.
And
stupid funny at
Right,
times,
yeah.
but it made me laugh a lot.
And I was holding my tongue, knowing what I had written about the Love Guru. But so we've talked about this in the past, how I might be critical of a film, but I would never take somebody's enjoyment of a film away. So I'm glad you enjoy the Love Guru. I am going to tear this apart, but sometimes, like today, in fact, you want a big greasy cheeseburger.
Well, you had 2 each, didn't you?
No, I had 1.
I had 3.
Jack had 3.
I was.
You
Listen,
had 3.
I needed it. It's been a day. A little bit of sweet and sour sauce. Just dip that. I specifically said the McDoubles because those are the cheaper not because of money and being frugal, but because those are the saltier of the two.
It's true.
I don't know why
they have a much or not. It's not much saltier, but like a noticeable salty quality to them. That's just kind of pleasing. I do like the McDouble.
Wow, you guys
Not sponsored.
know your McDonald's.
We've been poor college students.
Exactly.
Which burgers are saltier?
It's like, I'm going to treat myself in college.
Well, they got rid of the salt burgers, so I can't just go to that.
I thought they were all salt burgers.
And they keep telling me to get out of the animal supply store and get looking at all the salt licks, so I can't just keep
Yum, 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 yum. Hey,
My son's crazy.
Let's cut the break.
We'll be right back.
Bye.
All right, hey, welcome back.
Yay.
This is, once again, Season 3 opening of The Love Guru with special guest, Joe's mom.
Hi, everybody.
My mom's name's Linda, by the way.
Joe's mom, right.
I'm
so we're
honored to be here.
going to do some stats.
Yes, do stats. Season 1 or Season 3 opening stats.
Yes. So if you had to guess the general Rotten Tomatoes score for this movie, what would you guess?
This is out of a percentage, like if everyone liked it, it gets 100%. If no one liked it, it's 0%. So like, where in between there do you think critics rated it?
Oh, critics.
Yeah, critics, not audiences.
Yeah, I'd have to say probably like 20 or 30%. Is that high still?
Do you know, Joe?
I don't know actually. I have a bad habit of not looking these things up.
I think it
beforehand.
probably didn't get great.
It did not. It got 13%.
13.
Yeah.
You know, not the
Which,
lowest.
like,
not the lowest that we've seen.
No.
I said 20 though. I guess I was
Yeah,
close.
close.
Yeah, no, you were within 10.
How about the audience score?
If it were me, because of how much I laughed, I'd give it like a 75, 80.
Okay.
Because I love to laugh.
I wouldn't be surprised if audiences gave this somewhere around like a 55. something
Nope.
like that.
33.
33. Wow.
I wasn't in that audience.
No. Okay. I'll say this after we do the IMDb score.
This is on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do we think? And IMDb's everyone. Everyone kind of is in the same pot.
Okay.
What do we think The Love Guru got out of 10 on IMDb?
A 6.
Joe?
I'm going to say 4.8.
3.8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you're
IMDb
close.
went that
Yeah.
low. Wow.
So
IMDb usually is like weirdly high on a lot of stuff, so I'm surprised it went that low.
What did I say? 6?
Yeah.
6, yeah.
I don't think this is a good movie, but I feel like these are particularly low scores.
Yeah.
Especially because we've seen other movies that are rated in this realm, and they are
Far worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think there is a reason why this movie is rated really low, and I think we'll probably get more into that in episode 2, because this has a lot of history to this movie, surprisingly.
I know some of it, but yeah, we'll get into that in part 2.
All right, let's talk about the Razzies.
Yeah.
So this was the winner of the worst film at the 29th Annual Golden Raspberry Awards. Again, this was 2008.
It was the winner of the worst film.
Worst, yes.
Worst picture.
Wow.
Yep.
So the Razzies are kind of like a reverse Oscars. So instead of giving awards for like the best performance and the best film, they do like worst performance
Right.
and worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started in 1980 because they watched Can't Stop the Music in Xanadu, and they were like, okay, this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which is funny because we did Xanadu last season.
Yeah.
We were both like,
my.
I actually kind of like this.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
See,
Like,
everyone,
here's me, big zero.
everyone has their greasy cheeseburger, and apparently mine's Xanadu.
Yeah, you just like disco lasers.
Right.
So.
But go watch it later. So it was nominated for 7 Golden Raspberries, and it won 3.
Was Mike Myers in that?
You know,
I'm going to guess probably, but I also have not taken a look at these nominations beyond the fact that it won Worst Picture.
I was joking about Xanadu. Just
What?
making a joke. Was Mike Myers in Xanadu? I thought you were still talking about.
Oh, no, we were moving
Okay.
on. We were moving back into the Love Guru.
Sorry, this is my first time.
It's all right, Mom.
I'm curious to know how old Mike Myers would have been in 1980.
I'm gonna guess probably like a teenager, something like that.
Yeah.
Or like a young kid, like maybe like a 10-year-old or something like that.
When did he start going on Saturday Night Live?
That was in the 90s.
The 90s?
Yeah.
All right. So it was nominated for Worst Picture. I already said it. It had won. It beat out the disaster movie, The Happening.
Oh God, The Happening.
Yeah. I haven't actually watched any of these other films. Also, Meet the Spartans.
Oh God, that whole era of like post-scary movie spoofs that were just got progressively worse and worse and worse. Ugh.
So Mike Myers was nominated for Worst Actor. And he won.
Did he?
He
No.
did. He beat out Larry the Cable Guy in
Good. Larry. Yeah.
Witless Protection.
I don't like Larry.
I'm actually a little surprised he beat Larry the
I am a
Cable
little bit,
Guy.
yeah.
I mean, like I know. I guess he is a pretty good actor because his whole shtick is an act. Like he's not the blue collar like yutz that he acts like. He has like a Harvard degree of some sort, if I'm not mistaken.
His performance is so good that nobody believes that he's
like an Ivy League guy,
right. I'm surprised that Mike Myers beat out Mark Wahlberg for The Happening because he was also nominated.
That's
I'm not surprised. I like Mark Wahlberg, but that doesn't surprise me.
I sometimes like Mark Wahlberg and sometimes don't, and usually mostly around whenever I remember that he committed a hate crime against an Asian guy.
Oh God.
Way back when, but
I like his performance.
his performances.
I like his performances when he is cast as himself. He's really good at being himself.
That's true.
The Love Guru was also nominated in the category of Worst Actress.
For Jessica
Is
Alba.
it
Jessica Alba,
Really?
yeah.
No.
She lost to Paris Hilton in The Hottie and the Naughty, a movie I've never heard of
It
before.
is
Oh my God.
bizarre that is the second time I've heard that referenced in the past
Oh my God,
week.
I just
Really?
Yeah.
I never heard of that one, but my imagination is giving me a
looks terrible.
yucky picture.
That's fair. Yeah.
Your imagination is correct. It looks terrible. Also nominated for Worst Supporting Actor, Ben Kingsley.
Oh my God.
I mean,
He was good. He was funny.
I kind of get it.
Yeah.
he commits to the bit for better and worse. That is, I think, like his MO, because he signs on to some really weird shit on a pretty constant basis. But he's also like this acclaimed, prestigious actor
Right.
as well. Like
That's why that adds to how good he is in these goofy, silly movies, I think.
I think there's something to that, but also like I don't know. There's just like the role itself is I don't know. We'll talk more about it later.
Yes, he didn't win.
Didn't win.
No, and I have not watched this movie, so I can't say if it's valid or not. But Pierce Brosnan won for Mamma Mia.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did you hear him singing?
No,
He
deserve it?
he's
Okay.
yeah. No, he has a terrible singing
Oh
voice.
my.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's why he got it then.
It's I don't know if it's necessarily Russell Crowe in Les Mis bad, but it's probably close.
Oh, I never heard Russell Crowe sing.
It's so bad, Mom.
he's
It's
pretty
so
bad.
it's so bad.
I just watched him in a movie
gosh.
over the weekend.
This has nothing to do with the Love Guru. I just saw that they must really dislike Paris Hilton.
Low hanging fruit.
Right.
Yeah, and she's no actress, though.
She won for Worst Supporting Actress in Repo the Genetic Opera. I mean, can you really nominate her for... So Repo the
Weird,
Genetic
that's
Opera...
usually, that's usually a role people are like, oh, I actually enjoyed her in that.
I think they might have missed the point of that movie. It's supposed to be like schlocky horror.
The Razzies missed the point of something?
I know, it's weird, huh? Worst Director, Marco Schnabel? Schnabel. Anyway, Love Guru is nominated for Worst Director. It lost to somebody we'll be talking about, I think, later this season, Ubel.
Oh, God.
Who... Did he put out that many movies in 1 year? So
Wait, how many did he win for this?
A movie called 1968 Tunnel Rats,
Never heard of it.
In the Name
Yeah.
of the King,
I'm gonna say I'm lost.
and Postal.
Oh, fucking Postal. Oh, my God. Okay. Uwe Boll is a notoriously shitty filmmaker. I have not seen a whole lot of his work, but the one thing that I have seen made me want that time of my life back. It was the adaptation of House of the Dead, that like zombie
House
of the
arcade
Dead.
game.
Was
Yeah.
Daddy in Postal?
My dad was a mail carrier.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, your dad was the mailman.
Yeah, that joke. That's a joke I got to apply to my life for real.
Worst screenplay. So Mike Myers wrote this with Graham Gordy, and won.
They got worst
Well done.
screenplay.
They won. Yeah,
Mike
that was
Myers is getting a bad rap. Jeez.
Oh gosh, we'll get it. We'll get into that. And not that this has anything to do with the Love Guru, but congratulations to Uwe Boll for winning the worst career achievement.
Deserved.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's probably fair.
Every now and then the Razzies get it right, and that's a prime example.
Do we want? It feels like it's really short to
It
jump
was-
into a break.
It was pretty quick. Yeah. Are there any other noteworthy nominees there that you're surprised about?
They're just hitting the same stuff. The Happening, Meet the Spartans, The Hottie and the Naughty. It's really tired of saying that.
Jeez.
Yeah, it doesn't exactly roll off the tongue.
Nah.
No, it's like they had a couple of really obvious terrible movies and they just went with it. So it's like the Love Guru, disaster movie, The Happening.
Really, 2008. That was there were what else, what were like the big movies that came out that year? Like what
Dark Knight?
was that? Dark Knight?
I think that was 2008. I'm not entirely sure. Oh yeah, Indiana Jones came out. The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out that year.
How was that not nominated for some stuff
It
in
was
there?
nominated for something. I can't remember what though. It was nominated for worst like prequel sequel.
Oh,
Which one?
okay, good. It was-
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh.
yeah, the one with Shia LaBeouf and Harrison Ford hiding from a nuclear blast in a refrigerator.
Oh, Harrison Ford was in that too.
Yeah, he's Indiana Jones. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's in. Oh, it was
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
after the
Yeah, yeah.
original Indiana
Yeah,
Jones.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I
yeah,
get it.
so you're right that was The Dark Knight that year.
okay.
So huzzah for that. God, what else do we have here? Twilight, Tropic Thunder, Step Brothers, 7 Pounds, 21. There's a lot of weird movies. Oh, hey, Pineapple Express.
It was same year.
Oh, Wall-E came out that year. I love that movie.
Wall-E.
Wall-E,
I
yeah.
don't know Wall-E.
Wall-E, it's a Pixar movie about like a robot and like who turns garbage into bricks in the future.
No. Don't know that one.
It's actually really good. It's
Yeah.
like kind of a homage to silent films.
I think it's the only Disney adjacent film to be put out in a Criterion Collection. Piece.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
also Doubt, the movie with Meryl Streep and Philip Seymour Hoffman about a nun losing her faith, if I remember correctly.
I remember reading the play, but I don't
that
think
sounds
I've
familiar to me, but
And also, wholly unrelatable to anybody, Pandemic.
I don't even know what that is.
There's a movie called
neither.
Pandemic.
Yeah.
It came out that year.
So how do you feel about the musical Cats?
you know what?
Actually, I'm really glad you asked her this.
I didn't see the movie, but Joe's dad, Sean, and I went to see Cats when it first came to Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we tried to go see it. We made the mistake of smoking a big fat joint in the parking garage before we went in.
Yep, this tracks.
So this show was very funny to us. We could not stop laughing. We were crying. We were laughing so hard, and we were asked to leave.
I forgot that you were asked to leave.
Yeah.
That's a detail I definitely
We
forgot
had
about.
to leave.
I
had to leave.
thought you guys just left halfway through.
I thought, well, everyone around us was getting aggravated. At least put it that way.
That makes sense.
But yeah, we had to leave. So we weren't there very long either.
Okay.
We just couldn't believe there's cats, people dressed up like cats, jumping all over the place.
It's not a thing I could imagine Dad in particular just sitting through.
Well, it was hopeless
Yeah.
from the minute we got there.
Just as soon as the cats came on stage,
Yeah.
you were,
We were all dressed up,
In their leotards and big fur.
It's
and,
pretty goofy.
No, I mean, we didn't wear cat suits.
well,
I know, Joe. I'm kidding.
But
No,
what
I
a
meant
way to
we
make
were
it
all
more
dressed
exciting.
up, though. Me
yeah,
and Daddy were all
I
dressed up.
I
yeah.
know. Oh God!
Can you
that
imagine
was
like
fun.
a Rocky Horror picture? Well, I guess Rocky Horror
With people dressed up like
with
cats.
but the same kind of like callbacks and interaction you would have at a showing of Rocky Horror.
If
but
cats
with
got the Rocky Horror treatment,
right?
Oh, that would be fun.
People dressed up as the various cat characters
Oh,
and
my.
Went up and like shadow danced along, along the side of the stage. Just,
this
It was
can
bad
happen. We
enough
can make
that
this
the
happen.
actors were dressed up like cats. Jeez.
thanks for all of that, T.S. Eliot. Thanks for all of that. All right, do we want to go to our second break?
Do we ever?
All right, we'll be right back.
Bye-bye. Hello.
Hi, hey. We are talking about The Love Guru, the 2008 Mike Myers film.
Yep, that's the one. That's what it is.
We've now entered the critique portion of the podcast where we talk about what worked and what didn't work. Starting with the cast.
All right, so
Who worked for the cast?
what worked for the
'Cause I think
cast?
there were a couple of actors that I enjoyed, and by couple I mean like two.
Like the definition of a couple?
Yeah.
Okay.
John Oliver.
See, I love John Oliver. I wasn't a fan of him in this movie.
Stephen Colbert.
Stephen Colbert.
Stephen Colbert is
absolutely works.
yeah.
Stephen Colbert's hands down my favorite part of this entire movie.
Yeah.
Just he plays this. I think Jim Gaffigan as well, though. I think he played. Jim
I couldn't
Gaffigan
remember his name.
plays such a good straight man
Yes.
to his unhinged,
Yes.
drug-addled nonsense.
Yeah, every time Stephen gets done talking, what's his name again?
Jim Gaffigan.
Jim Gaffigan just turns his head and looks at him every
You're on
single
drugs
time.
again, aren't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
I
Get
don't
him
know
out
that
of here.
actor super well, but
Comedian.
comedian.
Yeah.
But he did play a very good straight man.
Yeah, he's a stand-up comedian. He's mostly family-friendly fare. He does a little bit of acting here and there. Like, he's not a super prolific actor, but he has like a ton of stand-up specials.
Yeah, I thought he was mainly a stand-up.
Yeah, mostly centering
Comedian.
around like how pale he is.
Pretty pale.
Yeah, he's very pale. Sure. Yeah.
I haven't seen Stephen Colbert be an unhinged character before.
He was so young, too.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
So young
This
in that
was,
movie.
I mean, compared to now, sure.
Well, he looked
Right.
so young, at least. He
I
was
mean,
young.
I'm a little more used to seeing him be unhinged because I watched the Colbert Report on a pretty regular basis from college, and like he'd be his like heightened Bill O'Reilly shtick that he was doing was
yes.
definitely pretty
Yes.
unhinged at times. I actually went down to Washington D.C. when the Daily Show and the Colbert Report did like the March to Restore Sanity / the rally to keep fear alive or whatever.
To keep fear alive.
Yes.
Just absolutely ridiculous thing to have happened.
good old days.
But also if you look back at like Strangers with Candy. There's a low key unhingedness to just that entire show. And Stephen Colbert was an integral part of that.
I don't know that show.
It was I'm not sure if it was produced by Comedy Central, but that's where I watched it. It was on Comedy
okay.
Central.
I feel like now I would be able to watch that and appreciate it, but when it was originally on, just seeing the commercials made me deeply uncomfortable.
It is mostly discomfort based humor.
And even on the late night with Stephen Colbert, he's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
love watching him.
There throughout the writer's strike, or at least through like the tail end of the writer's strike, which is over.
Yes.
As of right now, we'll have more of an update on that in a couple episodes.
Man, the people listening to these episodes in order are going to be so
confused. Yeah,
The new late night's going to start on Monday.
Starts on Monday.
Yeah.
But all of the talk show hosts have been doing a podcast together
To raise money.
to raise money for their out of work staffs.
Yes.
And Colbert is, of course, one of the best parts of that show.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that like 95% of it is like the other four of them just dunking on Jimmy Fallon to his face. It's just kind of great.
Poor Jimmy.
Also, John Oliver just is also great on that show. But
Jimmy Kimmel, though, I like his Trump stories.
yeah,
I actually like John Oliver the most out of all of those people now.
same. Yeah.
But he has grown on me over time because I used to he was on Community for I think a couple seasons. I really couldn't stand
popped
him.
up early on in Community, and then disappeared for a while, and then came back intermittently later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I always enjoyed him on The Daily Show, so like so seeing him pop up in other stuff like that, I just
I liked him on
didn't
the
know-
Daily Show. I didn't care for him playing like a character. Well, I guess he was playing a character, but like playing in a narrative.
I didn't know he was on The Daily Show.
yeah. That's where he got his that's where he got his big break.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with Colbert. Same with a lot of
Yeah.
people. I mean, Steve Carell got his start there, if I'm not mistaken. Ed Helms.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. The Daily Show was a fertile ground for comedic actors.
Wow, I didn't know how many good ones came out of there.
Other actors that we enjoyed in The Love Guru.
I think Mom's gonna have the most here, so I think we just let her go.
Yeah,
I
please.
can't. Verne, Mini-Me.
Vern Troyer.
I like him. Who else? Oh, Justin Timberlake. I like him.
He's a pretty good comedic actor.
Yes, he's funny.
He is. I agree. He definitely is funny. I didn't think this is the strongest role for him, but I don't think that's a him problem necessarily. Right. I think that's mostly they didn't give this character much outside of like his one joke.
Yeah.
So,
His obnoxiousness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, the obnoxiousness is really what they pounded.
Joe was saying that he
Not
wore
the
that was his real hair,
giant
but it was a
cock.
wig.
Look, his hair is that color. It could have just, it's feasible that he just grew his hair out.
I'm a hairdresser. It's a wig.
Yeah, okay, I know.
Okay, silly question. One, I will say the second time I watched this movie, I actually liked him quite a bit.
Okay.
See, I like him too.
See, I only got to watch the movie once, so that's...
The first time through, I'm like, I get it. He's got a giant cock.
Yeah.
Whenever he takes it out, it hits the floor. Boom.
Yeah.
Excellent Foley work.
But yes. Whenever he gets frustrated, he yells, "Tabernacle!" Which, Joe, help me. Is that a thing? Is that even a real
I
person
don't
word?
know enough French to be able to
Okay.
tell that. Yeah.
I must have missed that.
He yells it a couple times out of frustration. And it feels very much like something we would write into a Knifebreaker script because we have Mother's Oats.
Yeah, it does feel like that kind of nonsense. Yeah, like a pseudo phrase.
Yeah, there's lots of nonsense in here.
Yes. Just chock a block of it.
What is it, Canadian Pop-Tart or pizza? Canadian
Oh
pizza?
yeah,
that
Pop
part?
Tarts with ketchup.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was like, ugh.
Joe, please.
He
tell me
said
that's
he
real.
was
I don't know.
like-
I'm looking
That
at you like
cannot be a real thing.
you're a Canadian expert.
no, it's not.
No, I just like hockey a lot, man.
Which makes you a Canadian expert, right?
Oh no.
And he told her, "You will like it."
That was a very good accent.
It was. Who else did you like in this, Mom?
Oh my goodness! Well, I love Mike Myers.
Honestly, I don't think that Mike Myers himself was bad necessarily.
No.
I would not chalk this up as one of my favorite roles of his, certainly. But so like one of the things that I didn't like about So I Married an Axe Murderer is how much he just like laughs directly into the camera.
Yeah.
And like it's just like it's so annoying how much he's like trying to like force you through the camera to laugh with or at him.
See, it makes me laugh.
This role, I think he's able to like kind of lose himself in the role enough to not do those kind of things, but then like the role itself requires him to do other things that I didn't enjoy.
I like Ben Kingsley.
I mean, as what
was his name again?
Guru Tagemapuda.
Really didn't want
That
to
sounds
keep
like a
saying-
Kuna.
I know. I just it's like I don't want to keep. It's like things I don't want to say around my mom.
Sounds like a Kuna Matata.
Yep, that's
sure. That's what it sounds like. Yes, this is one. It's a Disney joke. It's a reference to all of Mike Myers' favorite Disney bits, not anything else.
Oh, and I like John Oliver. His name was Dick Pants.
Dick Pants. Yeah, I like
good.
that is just a thing that I could see John Oliver just doing. Just
He had a wig on too.
I think that was his.
no, I'm pretty sure that was actually his hair.
Really?
He makes fun of himself for having notoriously terrible hair.
That was he had long hair for him. Then.
Yeah, no, he's had hair longer than that.
Okay.
Particularly on the Daily Show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I recall that was his film debut.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure it was.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was.
What a way to come out.
Lots of good cameos.
There were a lot of cameos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I loved? How instead of Namaste, they said Mariska Hargitay instead of Namaste.
Yes.
I like that they actually got her to appear in the movie.
Yeah.
Just to help drive that joke a little bit because otherwise it feels kind of out of place. It gets old really quickly, but seeing her have to be there and face it is interesting.
It made me laugh every time.
Story. What in the story worked for you, Joe?
What in the story worked for me?
I said hockey is a sport.
Hockey is a sport.
Yeah.
I mean, so Mike Myers' whole reason for doing this was that he wanted to make a hockey movie.
Really?
Yeah, because he's a massive Toronto Maple Leafs fan.
Oh,
and
I didn't know this.
Oh yeah, well, the Toronto Maple Leafs have not won the Stanley Cup since the 1960s, and literally his reason for going into this movie and doing it the way they did and making them winning the Stanley Cup, part of it was, well, if they're not going to do it themselves, I guess I have to make it happen.
And
That's cool. I like that.
They still have not. Oh my god, it's become like a joke that they either will not make the playoffs or they cannot get past the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
They finally got past the first round of the playoffs last season, only to get swept in the second round. Just didn't win a single game beyond the first round.
It's cool.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
I know.
Sports. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope the Leafs.
The
Yeah, there
Maple
you go.
Leafs.
You got it.
Yeah, not the leaves, the Leafs.
I hope them guys are. I hope they make it for Mike's sake. Story. Yep. This we're talking about things we liked, and the hockey was a sport.
I like the base conceit of Pitka's kind of narrative arc. Maybe not the execution of it, but
Sure.
just the idea of a Hollywood guru kind of having to, grapple with the fact that he's kind of shitting all over his own spirituality to make a buck and try and come back from that.
And he does.
And he does. I mean, by making some elephants fuck to the
No,
song from
that-
Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, I just
But-
want to say I hated that. I hated that they used elephants.
We'll get to what didn't
Okay.
work later.
Very upsetting.
Jack didn't get to touch on that part
Hurt my
in
feelings.
the recap, so I wanted to at least make sure we mentioned that there was elephant sex to the song from Eyes Wide Shut in
Jeez.
there.
Oh, was that Eyes Wide
That's
Shut?
where
too?
that's why that
Good
song is
Lord.
it was used there because it was like the song from the trailer and from one brief scene in Eyes Wide Shut. It's not it's just,
I didn't even notice the music because I was so upset by the use of the elephants.
that's fair. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we got
Sorry,
it. I just wanted to make sure we acknowledged it.
No, we're still talking about things we like.
We're still talking about things we
Right.
like. We're still talking about things we like.
I like how he played 9 to 5. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
If I interrupt you. 9 to 5 on his, what's that called? The
Sitar.
Sitar?
Sitar, yeah.
Sitar, yeah. That was funny.
I don't know. I don't know if they really. Well, I guess it does. I guess they do factor them into the narrative a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I actually
That
like.
and the
I like.
Steve Miller Band at the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And more than words in the middle.
Yeah. The I think, the musical bits I did enjoy. Like, they were actually, like, a little bit more dynamically shot. There was, some interesting, interesting stuff going on musically with them.
And they sang well.
And they sang well.
Yeah.
When he first meets Jessica Alba's character, and his, like, third eye opens up.
Yeah.
And they cut to
An island.
like a Bollywood
That
musical
was fun.
number.
I like that bit.
I loved that part.
Yeah, that was fun.
And I was like, more gags like that,
Yeah.
less crotch and poop jokes.
Yeah. I am so happy that I'm so happy that they didn't stoop so low as to have anybody do brownface in this movie, because
my
I was
God.
genuinely worried
Yeah.
that was going to happen.
Really?
Yeah, I
that
genuinely was concerned that was going to be a part of this, but no, the fact that they established right from the word go, no, Pitka was born in America.
Right.
He is just
Jeez.
raised in India. He's white and he knows it.
Yes.
He's not trying. He's not posing as an Indian person. He's
And-
a white
White and he
person.
knows it.
He's a white person raised in India.
The second time through, I noticed that when they show him in flashback with the giant CGI.
Wait, what?
So when they cut the flashback and they show Pitka as a child,
And
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
a
It's just-
child's body with
With
Mike
a
Myers'
big
head.
Mike Myers head, yeah.
I was so upsetting.
And he's in the class with Deepak.
Yeah, with a young Deepak. Yeah, and I noticed that they didn't do that horror show with Deepak Chopra. They just had a
can
kid
you
and said he
imagine
was
if they
young
did though? Listen, Joe, I didn't laugh hard at many parts in this movie, but
that
when
got
they
you.
had Mike Myers,
I laughed a lot.
I lost it there. And for what? So like,
Oh my God.
Mike Myers is not doing the accent for that scene,
Right? Yeah, he's just speaking as a regular white person.
right? And without any enthusiasm whatsoever.
Yep. Oh God.
More than words, he sings with his assistant, Roshnish.
Yeah.
That's
Rashnish was
his
good.
name.
Rashnish.
Rashnish,
Yeah. Actually,
I
yeah.
liked him.
Circling back, I did like Rush Niche. Yeah.
I kind of wanted them to.
They sang good harmony.
They did.
Celine
Celine
Dion.
Dion.
God, the
The fake over the shoulder Celine Dion.
from a very far distance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when
Celine
she was
Dion.
supposed to be on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally her up there. Yeah.
When they were like, and now presenting Celine Dion, I was like, they
totally-
didn't get Celine Dion,
They
right?
totally.
No, they did not.
Because at first I was like, wow, they actually got Celine Dion.
Nope.
Mike.
They sure did not.
Mike. That was pretty funny, especially considering how many damn cameos there were up to that point.
Oh, so many after too.
Yeah, but that one they just could not get
No.
her. They were like, "We're gonna fake this as hard as we can."
I think it kind of made it funnier.
It did.
I
No,
think
I
it was
thought it
funny,
was a
yeah.
good bit.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that was a good bit.
Were there any themes that you cared for? I said the theme of confronting childhood trauma
Yeah,
was interesting. That's Roanoke's like entire
yeah. Like his whole arc of like trying to deal with his extremely scary mother.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
mother was frightening
Getting to the
and
roots
very
of his
violent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Man.
But yeah, him like trying to get to the roots of like why he has this fear and like this perfectionist streak in him, and like actually grappling with that.
Yeah.
I thought
his hands would shake real hard.
Yeah.
when he thought his mother would be around. You know, trying to play hockey. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
he wouldn't let her come to the games.
No,
Yeah, I didn't get to that part because I got horsed.
you did get horsed. Yes, lest we forget.
The worst.
I guess self-love, but they didn't really play it through the whole way.
I think they did fall a little bit short on that one.
Like as soon as Hakuna Matata,
Cross-eyed Hakuna Matata.
yeah, I was like, what is it you want? And he's like, sweet babes.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, here's your
He's like,
chastity
"Nope, here's your chastity
belt
belt."
We're gonna lock that down.
with an elephant's head on it. Jeez.
Just gaslighting a child into thinking he is locked into a chastity belt, and then
It was
pointing
never
out to me,
locked.
it was never locked. Like,
Yeah.
Are you fucking
Yeah.
kidding me?
But see, that was almost the end, and it was because of self-love. You were just talking about self-love, that he was able to free himself from the chastity belt. because he finally learned to love himself.
I mean, yeah, they kind of shoehorned that in at the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
They're like, look, we did an arc for this character.
I mean, that's the thing is like they do an arc for that character. Like,
do you think so?
Yeah, no, I think it's the integrity in terms of his spirituality
Okay.
and what he wants out of life.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah, because I think he gets so wrapped up in the chance to best Deepak and become the next Oprah guru that he loses sight of his own morals and whatnot. And what's his assistant's name again?
Rashni.
Yeah, and Rashnish gives him hell for it, which, like, rightfully so.
Yes,
and it's
and
only
John, and Dick Pants
and
wants to be more famous.
Dick Pants just wants to be more famous, and while they're sitting there in front of that Cinnabon, in front of a not talking Samantha Bee, he comes to the realization of what he actually
looked
wants.
good too.
That did look real good. But speaking of Daily Show correspondence, that Cinnabon, the girl running the Cinnabon was Samantha Bee, who was also a Daily Show correspondent alongside John Oliver and Stephen Colbert, who went on to go and have her own show along for a good while.
Yeah,
I think she did have a line or two, but it was cut.
It was cut. Yeah, it was a deleted scene.
Well, I wish they would have worked that story in better, where you have Dick Pants and Rashnish kind of like butting heads, polar opposites.
The devil and angel on his shoulder a little bit.
That's what I was just going to say. I took them as the good and the evil.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I like that they have that going with him, but I agree. Like they could have done more with it. They could have made that more of a focus of his narrative arc. It's that I thought was a genuinely interesting aspect of this movie, and I would have liked to have seen it explored more.
And they thought if they could get on Oprah, then that would be what makes him number one.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what else I loved? Was that little electric carpet that he drove around on.
The sight gag of the carpet.
He like comes cruising onto the hockey ring ice, onto the rink.
When Mike Myers was developing this movie, he was trying out this character, and he had the carpet, and he had the outfit, and he had the getup, and he would do like a stand-up bit two different ways. One, he would do it so that people knew it was like, oh, this is Mike Myers. He's doing this character. He would come out on the carpet and like, do basically the seminars we see at the beginning of the movie where he's like, GURU or whatever means this and that.
I guarantee she has it written down.
Wait. Let me go through my notes. Go ahead. When I find it. Oh, here it is. Guru. GURU. GURU.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
That's
funny shit. And then the other half, he wouldn't tell them it was a comedy bit. He wouldn't tell them it was Mike Myers. They would come in as though it were an actual seminar by a guru.
Really?
Yeah, he did that. That was part of the testing for the character.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's funny. That would have been real funny to see.
Honestly, I kind of would have liked to have seen those bits.
You bought this, right? This is a thing you own. It's in your house.
Well, it's in Mom's house right now.
Okay.
But yes, but yeah, I do own a DVD copy of this, as I mentioned on Antonio's show.
Like not anymore.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna take it home.
No, you're not.
I'm not buying a second copy of this, even though it was $1.
For everyone else, you can watch it on Tubi. There are commercials, but you'll need them.
I refuse the commercials. I can't do it.
I needed the break.
That's what the pause button's for, man.
Are we breaking?
No, we're trapped here.
Oh. It's fun. I like it here.
All right, we've started to kind of inch towards what didn't work. What actors, what of the cast did not work for you?
Kanye.
Kanye
West.
There was a Kanye
West cameo,
as I call Conway.
She has always called him Conway, just like for reasons.
He's changed his name, right? Isn't it?
I guess he just goes by Ye now.
Yeah.
Which
Ye.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nazi sympathizer.
He's
I don't
an
give
idiot.
a shit.
Is he?
Oh, have you not been paying any attention to that? Oh my God.
He's in love with Donald Trump.
I knew. Yeah, once I found that, I was like, I don't need.
He told him
it
that to
anymore.
his face. I
He
love you.
He did tell him that to his face.
Yep.
But yeah, no. But he also he went on Alex Jones's show and talked extensively about how much he loves Hitler, and he's not kidding. And even Alex Jones was trying to get him to walk it back and like trying to couch it and like,
my
but you're not being
Holy
serious. And he's
shit.
like, no, I'm being completely serious.
If Alex Jones is trying to walk you back,
Exactly.
holy shit.
Wow. It was absolute madness. And then somehow, like, something that I think he watched 21 Jump Street and like tweeted that, like, you know what, Jonah Hill made me like Jewish people again.
Oh my God.
And it's like, what? How is this the timeline that we live in?
Oh my.
But
really?
I know why he was there, though, and it's because they were doing hurricane relief. It was
The cameo in the film.
I know why.
I
know why. Yeah, not the Nazi
Yeah.
sympathizer thing. No,
Glad you straightened that out.
Let's rewind a little bit.
Yes.
I know why he has a cameo in this film.
Yes.
And it's because when they were doing Hurricane, I think it was Katrina relief, there was a telethon where they were raising money, and Mike Myers and Kanye West were on there together, and Kanye blindsided Mike Myers by just going completely off script, and
How
this is back,
unusual.
Well, this is back when Kanye was like actually kind of
Yeah,
cool,
like respected and people,
a well-respected artist,
Yeah.
and actually had some reasonable opinions about things. And he went completely off script to say George W. Bush does not care about black people,
Oh,
and
good
Mike
Lord.
Myers just goes,
it was
what?
one of my favorite Mike Myers performances.
Honestly, yeah, just watching Mike Myers kind of like panic in that moment was kind of amazing.
Is that? I thought he's like.
Excuse me.
George Bush hates black people, is how I remember it. But
It was just does not care about black people.
Wow.
Was what he said. But yeah, it's
yeah, it's a good. It's
a
what an
simpler
interesting pairing.
Yeah.
time. Yep. I do not buy that Kanye West would be a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, though.
What hockey team do you think Kanye would would?
Maybe the Kings.
Okay.
Maybe the Kings. Yeah.
Yay.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I don't know where he's like actually from.
Yeah, I don't know.
So like that, like, you know, that colors it sometimes. You know, like
Sure.
I could live anywhere and I'll always be a lifelong Penguins fan.
Sure.
So you know, it's
Steelers.
I can't do football anymore.
I know. I love it though.
Yeah,
You're still my son.
I know.
Oh, today's Joey's birthday. Happy birthday, Joe.
Okay,
Jeez. I love you so much.
love you too, Mom.
Thanks.
What else doesn't work about this goddamn movie?
How about let's bring Jessica up for her.
Jessica Alba. I almost feel a little bit bad for her in this situation.
I mean, she was written terrible.
She was written poorly. I think she tried at least sometimes. Like I have a feeling they kind of filmed some of this out of order, because there are moments where like there are moments where I feel like she does pretty well. Like when she finally loses her shit on a bunch of shitty Maple Leaf fans.
Yeah, when they're like, you suck.
Yeah, and she like turned around and gave it right back to him. It's like, okay, I like that moment.
Yeah,
I think she
was
handled
good.
that moment well. But so much of the rest of it is just like not enough emotion.
Yeah.
It feels like she's not really in the scene, kind of. Like she's not feeling it.
I didn't like when they were having dinner together or trying to have
very
dinner
awkward.
together.
That was
Wasn't that was
extremely
very
awkward. There was
yeah.
no chemistry between the two of them.
No,
I think the scenes
I don't think so either.
where she's confronted with this quote unquote curse, this like family curse.
Yeah.
There was a level of investment there in her performance.
Yes.
Wait,
Anytime,
excuse me one sec. But curse, you mean of the hockey team
Yeah,
losing all the time?
Of the Maple Leafs never
Okay.
winning a Stanley Cup since the
Okay.
60s. Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
and the fans kind of really hating her for that.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
However, whenever she was just the love interest, you could
It
tell she did
falls
not
apart
give
for
a
her.
single shit.
Yeah, no, it really...
And I don't blame her.
I don't either. Especially considering, like, half of those moments, they, like, just ram full of as many gags as they
Yeah.
possibly
Yeah.
can. Like, that
I
entire
agree.
dinner scene is
Yeah.
all ball jokes.
Right.
Like-
yeah, when they were making, what was it? When the balls
weird
in the
ball
dough.
sack,
What
like,
did they call it?
I
though?
can't remember what they called it.
Balls in a sling.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
And they
yeah.
were deep frying it. And Mike
And-
Myers was going, ooh.
Yeah, I was like, why are you
Yeah.
having these reactions
Yeah.
to it? Like, stop that. See, that's
Sorry,
what-
Jack.
see,
No,
that's-
it's gonna be really
Jack's
fun
like,
for you to edit this
Joe,
I know,
later.
right?
this is
Yeah,
your
it's-
mother.
fine. So, yeah, but genuinely, like it's like Mike Myers kind of feeding into his own worst instincts in that moment.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, and it's really detracting from the scene that's supposed to be like romantically driven.
Yes.
So, serious question. This humor style, I haven't watched Austin Powers probably since I was in high school. It doesn't feel like it was that different.
So I did rewatch Austin Powers within the past year, and it does hold up better than you would expect it to, actually.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Austin Powers was on a different level.
It was.
Than
So why
this
did
one.
it work and this didn't? 'Cause it's the same humor, right? Ish.
I mean,
Here and there, yeah.
Here and there, I think is a fair assessment, because Austin Powers, I think you have Mike Myers leaning heavily into character work on multiple fronts.
Yeah.
The fact that he's playing both the protagonist and antagonist goes a long way. Like
And it's
yeah, and
So funny.
he's so invested in the relationship between those characters, and like the realities of like jumping forward 30 years in time and trying to like have him adjust to like the sexual mores of the time. That and I think like all the other actors are given more to work with and are better fleshed out characters in general. Like Elizabeth Hurley does such a great job.
Oh, I love her in that.
Yeah, she's
so
really
good
genuinely
in that.
good.
She's funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
She is.
I
Yeah.
still remember the scene where he's like getting caught up on historical events that have happened, and he sees that we've landed on the moon, and he has like a genuine moment.
We've landed on the moon,
Yeah.
Basil.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Basil.
great.
I forgot about Basil.
Basil Exposition, yes. Which great character name. It's also just such a great lampooning of like the
Really nails
James
it.
Bond formula. Whereas like this is trying to do something more original, and has an opportunity to really do something like satirically strong.
Yeah.
But kind of goes out of its way to like dilute that.
Yeah, there aren't too many Bollywood hockey movies.
No,
Oh
it's
my
not that
God.
I can think
We're
of.
back to hockey.
The whole movie's about hockey.
Not Austin Powers.
Oh
No, Love Guru.
I know.
No.
I'm just kidding.
I think, and again, I haven't watched these movies since high school.
Yeah.
Austin Power movies. I think by the third one, they were leaning more towards the toilet humor.
Yes. Yeah, as soon as Goldmember comes into the picture. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which oddly but we also got Michael Caine in that one.
yeah.
It's just
And Fat Bastard. Which one's he in?
See, he comes in the second one though. That's where things start going awry, I think. It's
They're
like
still funny.
They are, but like Fat Bastard's such a one-note joke.
Yeah.
And like he leans into
He's gross.
Mike Myers leans into one-note jokes way too hard, and that's like perfectly exemplified in Love Guru by this whole nuts in a sling scene.
No, I totally agree. That was annoying.
Do you think that's a Mike Myers issue or a humor of the time issue? Because I feel like I've watched a lot of, especially Adult Swim cartoons at that time,
Yeah.
that were like, hey, here's our one joke. How long can we stretch it out?
Yeah, the answer to your question might be yes.
I think,
honestly.
though, that I've always found the kind of comedy like you're talking about, it keeps pushing. No matter if it was years ago or now, it always like annoyed me. Like, you know, I was feeling like, okay, move on.
Right.
You're lingering too long.
Yeah.
Well, I hate it.
Me too.
Themes
that don't work.
That don't work.
I think we've touched a little bit on how like the self-love plot kind of falls short.
Yeah.
Because like it is, you know, like it's a good message.
Right. It just
Yes.
didn't
It just
play through.
It's like they plant the seed of it in the beginning when they're talking about his childhood and the chastity belt, and then
it gets a little too silly.
it gets a little too silly. Like I think somewhere around the piss mop.
Yeah.
I think maybe.
Honestly, I
Ew.
think the piss mops were the
He gets whacked right in the face with that piss mop
really-
full of piss.
Oh my god.
And what's his name? What's his guru's name again? Hakuna Matata. What's his name?
Talking my putter.
He's the one filling up the buckets with pee.
Yep.
What's his name?
Ben Kingsley.
Cross-eyed
a sir?
Ben Kingsley.
Have they knighted?
Yeah, he's a sir.
Were
Yeah,
those-
Ben Kingsley is a sir.
Were those contacts or something, right?
I don't know, actually.
Or maybe like a fake eye that covered his eyelids? 'Cause
Maybe.
holy hell.
Though I could also see Ben Kingsley being just like, let's see how long I can hold it.
Right.
Just-
Oh my God. That was creepy after a while.
yeah, it does.
Hopping back to story a little bit, I think the main narrative focuses so much on Darren that I'm more invested in Darren's story, Darren Roanoke's story,
Yeah,
than I am
in
Pitka's.
Pitka's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like him. I really
Yeah.
liked him.
I liked him a lot.
What's
yeah.
his name? Real name?
The actor,
Yes.
Romany Malco, I think.
Romany
Yeah,
Malco. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I like him a lot. I've
Yeah,
seen
I
him
thought
in
he was
other
excellent
things
in
too.
this.
He's always funny.
I'm shocked that I didn't recognize him from 40-Year-Old Virgin, though. Like,
Yeah.
I genuinely forgot that was the same actor.
I didn't remember that either. I
Yeah.
remembered him more from Weeds, the series Weeds.
Yeah, see, I'd never seen Weeds.
Weeds is good.
That's what I've heard.
I've watched the first like season or two, and yeah, it's pretty solid.
It is.
Nice.
It is.
I don't know that there was really anything specific about the production that I felt strongly for or against.
I think for me, it harkens back to the origins of the character, because like the conceit of Guru Pitka as like a stage character, hilarious. I think that makes it makes for a really fun show. I don't
Remember
think
that point for the next episode.
Okay, but yeah, I don't think that it translates well enough into the movie to the point where like I feel like they're kind of grasping at straws to like make certain things work. Like the titles of his books as jokes, where some of them are pretty
I know
fun
what
plays
you
on
want.
words.
I did laugh at a couple of them.
What
But then but then one of his books is titled "What's This? A Dead One of These." It's like that doesn't work as a book title. You have to be doing that with your hand every time.
I'm sorry I laughed.
Yeah, I did
It was-
too. It was funny.
I got upset.
You're right.
I
You're
got-
right.
I
It
got
is. It's
upset
a bad
about that
title,
one.
What
but
was the first book though? It said, "You are what," or "I know what you are." What
But what am
I?
I? Yeah. Just
Or no, it says, "You are what," but what am I?
was that it?
The
Okay.
name of it. Yeah.
And like some of those were good gags, but like the runners went on a little too long.
Yes, yeah.
You could tell they were trying to milk the bit too much and not actually digging into like what makes that conceit work or what did make it work on the stage.
do you know if he is an improver? Does he improv?
Well,
Mike Myers.
I would.
Oh, I think so.
I mean, I'm not sure if he has an improv background specifically. I want to say it's mostly sketch because that's what SNL is a series of sketches.
He
Okay,
came from
I thought it was-
Second City, I think.
Was he Second City?
I don't
can't
know.
remember. He was from a previous sketch group. I think it was Second City, but I could be wrong.
I mean, if it's Second City, then yeah, he has an improv
I
background.
was going to say,
most
I would
likely.
totally think that he would.
Like it makes sense because like a lot of a lot of SNL players do have that background, even though like that's not specifically what they are doing there. Okay, yeah. So yeah, Second City is improv. He also was one of the Comedy Store players in London. It was one of the founding members of the Comedy Store players, actually. Okay, yeah. Thanks, Wikipedia. So yes, he does have an improv background.
So both in our past, but in the listener's future,
Yeah.
we talk about the Ghostbusters
Yes,
I love them.
and not those ones.
Oh,
I mean, tangentially, we touch on the
That's true,
originals,
that's true,
but
that's
yeah, in a couple episodes, we're talking about the 2016 Ghostbusters with Kristen Wiig and Melissa
okay.
McCarthy.
I was going to say, like, what Ghostbusters are you talking about? But,
The lady
okay,
ones.
The lady ones.
Yeah.
I like the other ones better.
That's kind of the general
That is
consensus.
the general
Yeah.
consensus. Yeah. I mean, I don't dislike that. You'll hear in a couple weeks,
Right.
Are you going to do it?
We've already recorded.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, and we did.
Yes.
Well, one of the things that we had an issue with was them running a joke on longer than it
Yeah.
needed, and that's their. Some of them have an improv background, so that's what I was wondering. Like, does Mike Myers also have an improv background,
The answer is
and
yes.
also do the "let me see how much I can milk this joke" shtick?
Yeah, he does. He did milk a few of them too much.
Yeah.
Well, I think that that about covers the critique and brings us to the question: does it deserve its accolades? Does it deserve the hate?
Not the hate. I don't think hate.
Well, by accolades, I mean the Razzie accolades.
Yeah.
The worst picture, worst.
Yeah, no,
actor.
that's what I mean. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think it's the worst.
Uh-huh.
You know, just because of, at least for me, it made me laugh. You know,
I mean,
like
that's the
really
nice-
laugh at parts.
I mean, that's the nice thing about movies. Is even if they're bad, that doesn't mean you don't. I mean, it doesn't mean you can't like them.
Right.
Right. You know?
Yeah.
Like I have horrible taste in a lot of things, and that's just.
This
Yeah,
is
me
something
too.
that I would like to address in the second part of why we like Mike Myers.
Because he's funny.
'Cause he's funny.
Well, asked and answered. There we go.
There we go. Both 1 and 2, we're done. We're wrapping up. I disliked Axe Murderer more.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
I was kind of surprised. I did laugh.
Sorry, Mom.
At Love Guru.
I'm getting ready to ask you to make more imitations. Do more imitations. Do one, Joe.
No, I don't want
Head.
to crying himself to sleep on his huge pillow. That probably wasn't good, but it's fine.
Joe, where can they find us?
Hey, thanks for listening, everybody. We've reached the end of part 1 here. If you want to follow us on social media, please do that. We are on Facebook at DeRazzled Podcast, Instagram and TikTok at DeRazzled_podcast, and Twitter, I refuse to call it X, and Blue Sky at DeRazzled Pod. If you want to email us with any questions about what's happening with the unofficial Willem Dafoe Bad Art Short Film Festival, or if you want to submit a short film to the film festival, you have until June 16th, I believe, of next year to do that. So it's still a little bit of time, but
It shouldn't be good.
it shouldn't be good. That's kind of the point. Yeah.
I know you're thinking like, I can't do that. I can't make a short. Yes,
But
you can. You can.
You can. You will.
And you'll have a good time doing
And you'll have a good time doing it. We're going to have a good time doing it. You should have a good time with us. But you can send those to DeRazzledPodcast at gmail.com with Willem Dafoe in the subject line. And, of course, as we asked already, please rate and review the show everywhere you possibly can, because it helps more people find us. And we want more people to find us, because we're having fun here, and they should have fun too. So, like I said, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, Podchaser, wherever you can possibly rate and review podcasts, especially now that both Stitcher and Google Podcasts are gone.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, Google Podcasts got the axe too. So if you listen to us on those platforms, thank you for doing so. We hope you join us on your next podcatcher, wherever that might be.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Now,
That was
okay.
good.
Here we go. You ready for it?
You ready? We're gonna do the ending bit.
Wait, I wrote it down. Okay.
Okay, so join us next time, where, as always, we will be sure
To razzle-dazzle ya.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Jack's laughing at me.